Oscar Pistorius was convicted of murdering his girlfriend in 2013. He served nearly 11 years and just recently it looks as though he will be released on parole. I can't say that I didn't like Oscar. He didn't make my skin crawl like Jimmy Savile. He was a beautiful young man. He was an athlete. He was in perfect physical condition and he was really friendly and accommodating. He did seem a little crazy. I remember commenting on his tattoo. It was a huge number right on his back. He told me that he'd been in New York City and he'd got bored and he couldn't sleep and he just decided to go for a walk in the middle of the night. And he wound up in this tattoo parlor and ended up getting this huge tattoo. So the shoot was really last minute. I had to fly through the night and arrive in the morning in Johannesburg. The shoot was actually to take place in Pretoria, which is the administrative city for South Africa. We drove to the Pretoria Athletics Stadium where we were going to do the location, and we met Oscar there. This was a big shoot for me. This was the cover of a major American magazine. I was relieved when he was so compliant and easygoing and happy to do everything that I asked. I shot him in a variety of different places around the stadium, in the discus net, standing on his hands on the track. The image for the magazine was very conventional. It was lit with flash that were battery powered. I had two flash behind him on either side of him and they were sort of backlighting him, and then above the camera I had a huge softbox and it was very conventional lighting and it worked very well for the cover. I felt I'd given the magazine everything they wanted, and so I decided to please myself and get something a bit more interesting. I wouldn't normally do this, but I asked him to take off his top and I got this very simple picture. There was a nice little corner, a sort of wall that was nicely lit with strong directional light, end of the day light coming low and contrasty. And I got him to stand in this location. I mean, sometimes pictures work best when they're simple. So there's just the black of his shorts and the black of the blades, the brown, the taupe, the tan. It all worked quite well. And actually, that picture never got used in the magazine, but that was my favorite image and I wasn't sure exactly why I liked it, but I liked it. It had a sort of dark undercurrent. It's really fascinating to take a picture and then the cultural shift happens and people are perceived in a completely different way. When I was photographing him, he was heroic, he was a role model, and then subsequently he had a huge fall from grace and ended up going to prison for murder. It's very satisfying as a photographer when, although the public perception of somebody changes, there's still some truth in the image. I was giving a talk and I would always refer to that image as having a dark undercurrent, and someone in the audience at the end, when they were asking questions, pointed out that the shadow that he's casting actually looks like a woman begging for mercy. So it was almost, in software terms, like an Easter egg. There was this kind of hidden thing in that photograph that over time revealed itself. It's slightly ironic that after the picture was taken and the darkness descended, that the tattoo on his back wrote, "I do not run like a man running aimlessly."